All right, I wanted to make a video about the event dungeon. Now, these event dungeons are pretty important, and I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends for about 10 months, and this is the third time it came around, but I really didn't understand how important the Pinpoint gear is and why this particular dungeon is important. And Pinpoint is a 9-piece set. And the cool thing about 9-piece set is that you can put them on your accessories. And like right here, I've got a 2-piece Pinpoint, right? 2 out of 9. And that gives me 20%, not 20%, boy, that'd be something. 20 accuracy and 10 speed that I couldn't get down here normally, because there's really not set bonuses outside of the 9-piece set. So let me just say this, Pinpoint is very, very important. Accuracy is important to Raid Shadow Legends, and so is speed. Turn-based games, speed's always going to be important, right? But accuracy is not as spelled out, and it absolutely is one of the more important things here in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, if you have not done so already, we've got a download link and a QR code, and we're going to try to use some of these champions right here, right now, inside of the event dungeon. Specifically, we're going to be using Sun Wukong, which is promo code Monkey King, because I've watched some videos. You got to do that in the first 24 hours. But I've been watching some videos on this. Is like, holy moly, I do not have the gear and the pieces for that. Now, Fabian, I'm hoping that you have Fabian. Fabian was the last fusion, and Fabian really made this raid possible. Like, I could not progress and get further with Fabian. Mithrala cleanses, very important. You can use a healer here. I'm using an epic healer because I feel like a lot of people will have access to Vogoth. I suppose Ugo, why don't we throw in Ugo? Because Ugo is a part of that bonus, right? Mithrala you get from playing in Hydra over time. Arbiter, a lot of people are getting Arbiter like within the first 90 days. If you're deliberate, I believe you can get it in the first, I want to say in the first 60 days. I've heard of people doing it faster than that, like 47 days, someone told me the other day. And then Sun Wukong. So there's a couple things that are important. Fabian was super important. Ability block, which comes in from Sun Wukong. Need a healer, need a reviver, need a cleanser, right? So these are all very, very accessible champs. The only thing that I really don't have good on these is Brimstone. And if I could get my Loki to work, and I've seen people use Loki, and Loki was another free login champ, and I've got 5 reds on him, and he has Brimstone, which is the blessing. I've seen people claim that they can go through 29. I could not get it to work, but I just want to showcase how, you know, there are ways of doing this. Now, I was able to take a team similar to this all the way up to 25. I think I could do 27 with a little bit more tuning, and if I could incorporate Loki. But the reason why I wanted to showcase this team here is that this is realistic, right? For someone that's early game. Well, I don't even know what early game or mid game is. I think I'm mid game, but I've been watching some videos from some other people. It's like, yeah, I don't have gear that does what they're saying to do. And this is just standard gear. And the beautiful thing about this also is Arbiter, Fabian, and Sun Wukong are actually in my arena team. So they do have pretty good gear on them. Well, no, that's not right. I have put some of my better gear on those 3 champions, and I'm grateful that those champions are relatively easy to get, like a Frusion, which is free. Sun Wukong was the promo code. Arbiter, you can get through the Arbiter missions within, it took me like 3-4 months, but you get the idea. Is you can get them. It's not like it's a random pull. Ugo right here is from, Ugo's from the, from my promo code when you download the link. So these are all champions that can get going. So Sun Wukong revives and doing a lot of the damage. When I get Brimstone to land, and I have Brimstone on Mithrala, but Mithrala is like 2 red. So I don't really get I really need like a 5 red. If I could get a 5 red Mithrala, wouldn't that be something? The other thing too that's important about these event dungeons is that right now we're going for Thalon Foulbeard. In these fusion type events, the one that is the most annoying is the dungeon divers. And so, yeah, there's overlap. Like you can see right here, we got spider overlaps with this dungeon diver. We've got ice golem, which I'm not going to be running until that dungeon diver starts, right? But in the meantime, it takes, like, once you max out the ice golem points, then you're in the dungeon diver part. You still have a lot more to do, and this is the place to do. And I'm just hoping to get Pinpoint specific. Well, I'll take Pinpoint gear. I'll take all the Pinpoint, but specifically Pinpoint accessories, right? Because that's where the action. If I could put a 3-piece that's 20 accuracy, 10% speed, and another 20 accuracy, that's fantastic. Now, I don't think this is going to work on 25. I have a different team. I had to substitute out Ugo for a different healer. I had to substitute Arbiter out for a different healer. And I just want to see if this works on 25, because I think that what I'm showing here is a team that maybe you'll have. But the main point is that I've got a cleanser, I got a healer. This guy is crowd control, making sure that all the ads, I don't know if they're called ads, but all the side people, the minions, they're just normal characters, aren't creating problems, right? You got Sun Wukong for doing damage and putting buff immunity so that the boss is not getting tons of buff to ruin your day, and then Arbiter's there for speed, attack up, and then also the revive. So the team comp that I got to work at 25 actually was slightly different. I used a different healer. I used an epic healer, Vogoth, and then I used a different legendary reviver, Kaja. But if I can get this to work right here, I will say mission accomplished. Because, and you know what? And I got to tell you, Fabian was what made this work for me. And I can't express how good this guy is. Specifically, I've been using a ton, of course, in Arena. I mean, I think that's his claim to fame is Arena, right? But where he's really surprised me the most has been in like the higher levels. Oh, we're going to die here. If my Arbiter dies, we're dead. Are we dead? Come on, if we Arbiter, please revive everybody. No, okay. Well, we got a failure here. All right, so this did not work out. I mean, I might be able to go, but the team comp that actually I was able to do 25 on, I'll just show the team. I won't make it, but I was able to do Vogoth, who Vogoth is relatively easy to get. I mean, he's an epic healer, and unfortunately, the reviver that I use is Kaja, who is not easy to get. No, Kaja is not easy to get. That's kind of like a random legendary pull. And that's kind of the problem in some ways with making videos like this, is that everybody has like their own team and it's their own puzzle, because everybody has different legendaries. I mean, most of the champions in this game are legendaries, and they're all different. And I'm going to say that very rarely does anybody have the same legendaries, other than the ones that you get, like Mithrala, get from Hydra. Sun Wukong, a lot of have it because of the promo code. Fabian was a fusion. I mean, so those ones are common. But other than that, it's epics. I think most people, after a while, all have the same epic. So I hope that you find something out on that. If you figured out how to use Loki in this, because my understanding is Loki has some shenanigans with Brimstone. If you have a high red star Loki, which he was the login, so I was able to get 5 reds on him, and that gives me the fancy version of Brimstone. If you got it to work, let me know in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, click the link in the description or scan the QR code. You're going to start your game off right with, first of all, a legendary Roxo Cot Hunter. Then you're going to get a Team Reviver at level 10, and then at level 20 you get Ugo Healer, Debuffer, and then Lady Annabelle, of course, is the best. And then use the promo code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong. Got to do that in the first 24 hours. Bye for now.